Welcome to the Python programming series. In this today episode 5, we will study about functions. We will study about how can we define function, call function, and function parameters, return and math functions. In previous episode, we studied about loops, while loops, for loops, and nested loops. In this today episode, we will study about the function as regular in the Jupyter notebook. Now you may be wondering why function exists. Now, suppose if you look at this example, we are calculating the area. So we have length and width. You may be seeing we have to calculate three times, like calculating again, we take the values and again calculating, printing, again taking the values and again printing. So it is the same calculation, follows the same formula, but it is written three times. Now imagine we need it 50 times. Function let you write the logic once and use it anywhere. That is the of only purpose of the function. Write once and you can use it many times. It is like it is like a formula, you can use it anywhere. So you define a function one time and use it as many as times you can. Now it is part 2. We will learn about how can we define function and call it. This is the simplest function code of example I have put in here. So you can see def is how we define a function and greet is the function name. So this is a function name and this indentation. After this indentation, we enter inside the function and we can type our code. So this is hello welcome. It prints hello welcome. So after it, we come back the indentation and we call the function. We call the function by function name and like this bracket, empty bracket. So when we call this, we basically call the function three times. So it will print hello welcome three times. Instead of using print, we will use function we will print show the output by calling the function. So I will run it by showing you. As you can see, it prints hello welcome three times. This is a simplest example of the function. Now, as we move on to code number 2, we will learn the difference between define versus call. The most important concept. Run. So we have defined a function greet. This only runs when called, and this print function is not inside of function, so it will run immediately. And we call a function, and this will run the function and print. I will run it and show you. So you can see this this part, this runs immediately. It is not inside function, so it will run first, and after this we call the function, so the function will run, and this also run immediately. So the greet function is called, only then does the function body run. Then execution comes back and continues. Python read the function definition but does not run it, only runs when you call it. So very important, function code will only run when you call it. It won't run when you just define the function, but it will only run when you call it. So it's important to call the function when you create it. Now we will study about parameters. So we have defined a function greet, and inside this function we have a parameter name. So when we do print hello name, we have defined a parameter, and when we do greet Rahul, this is the argument, and this takes the place of parameter, and it will run, hello Rahul, hello Priya, hello Ahmed. Name inside the bracket is the parameter, a variable that receives whatever you pass in. When you call greet Rahul, the name becomes Rahul inside the function. Same function, different result based on what you pass. This is the power of parameter. I will run you by showing it. As you can see, the output is hello Rahul, hello Priya, hello Ahmed. Now, multiple parameters. Multiple parameters are separated by commas. When you call the function, values are matched in order. Like 5 is matched to A, 3 is matched to B. So A gets the first value, B gets the second. The order matters. Remember, the order matters. And don't worry, guys, I will put the code in the description box. Don't worry. So please look at the code thoroughly and practice it. Inside function, we have defined print a plus b. And when we call the function and pass the argument, it will add the argument 5 plus 3, 8. So it is very easy. The order matters. Whatever you pass first goes into the matter. So if instead of here, if you put it 3, it will become A now and B also become A now. Okay, now we have done with parameters, and the order matters because 5 belongs to A and 3 belongs to B. The like first value belongs to first parameter, second value belongs to second parameter. This is it. Very simple. Now, code number 5 talks about parameter versus argument. This is very important. In the function you see, I have marked inside this function, the name is here parameter. And when you call the function and put a value, Rahul here is the argument. That's all. Very easy. No complication. Very easy to understand. When you call function and put a value, it is called argument. Inside this, it is Rahul. And inside this name is here is the parameter. That's all. Now, we come to code number 6 and talk about default parameter. Now, default parameter has a value already set. So as you can see, message is good morning. If you do not pass anything for the parameter, the default is used. If you do pass something, it overrides the default. Default parameter must always come after non-default ones. Like this is a non-default and this is a default parameter. If you do not pass something for this parameter, the default will run. So when you do greet Rahul, it will do good morning Rahul. And when you do greet Priya, good evening, it will do Priya, good evening Priya. Sorry, in this greet Rahul, it will print good morning because message default value in here we did not put any message, we only put it name. So it will print good morning Rahul because after name there is no message. So default value is good morning. So it will print good morning plus comma Rahul. In this there is a value for a message. So it will override the default value and it will print good evening Priya. So when you put a value, it will override the default value. But if you do not put a value, the default value will run. That's all. It is a simple concept. Now, in part 4, we talk about return. We will talk about the difference between print versus return, the most important difference. So print basically display the output, shows on screen, and it does not return nothing. It just display the output and won't return any value. But return will send a value back. It will send a value back. Now, when you implement this, result 1 is add print 53. Result 1, the output will be nothing because nothing was returned. And when you do result to add return, you call return add return function, value will come because there is a return thing. So return a plus b value, it will return a value, but in print it won't return a value because you already using a print here. Remember, if you use print and you print the function, it won't return anything. But if you use return and print it, the value will come back. So let me tell you again. Add print shows 8 on screen, but when you let me run it. Add print shows 8 on screen, but when you try to store it, you get none. Nothing was returned. Add return sent. If you try to, you get none. Nothing was written. Add return send 8 back. Now you can store it using calculation. Pass it to another function. And remember, you can pass it to another function also. When you need to use the result somewhere, always use return. So it is an important distinction you should know. So okay. Now code number 8, we are using return value. Now def calculate length width. We have defined two parameters and it will return length into width. Now room 1 is calculate area 10 into 5. Room 2 is calculate area 8 into 6. And total is room 1 into room 2. So when you do this, as you can see, this return function is used in multiple objects. So you can use for use for many arguments like 10 into 10 comma 5 8 comma 6. You can use for many command. That is the benefit of return function. Now as you can see, room 1 calculate area is 10 into 50. Now when you print room 1, it will come 50. Room 2 is 8 into 6 48, and when you print room 2, it will come 48, and total is 48 plus 50 is 98, and it will print the total. I will show you by running it. As you can see, room 1 50, room 2 48, total is 98. Now, return stops the function. Return immediately exit the function, nothing after it runs. When age is -5, the first return fires and function end. The other lines never run. This is a very clean way to handle multiple conditions. Return early when you have the answer. As you can see, we defined a function check age. Age, if this code talks about this code as condition, if age is less than 0, return invalid age. If age is less than 18, return minor, or else, or it will return adult. Return always stop the function. So if you do this, it basically means you're stopping the function for a default value. So print check age -5, it will go. If age is minus less than 0, invalid age, it will return invalid age. Print check age 15, it will 15 is less than 18, so it will return minor. If 25, there is no condition for 25 mentioned here. So by default, return adult will run. I will show you by running this code. Invalid age minor adult. Now, we will talk about recursive function. This is basically recursive function. Basically in Python, a function can call another function. Sum of square calls square twice. This is how real programs are built. Small focused functions that do one thing, combine together to do bigger things. Each function is simple, but together they are powerful. So we defined a function square, which returns the value of n into n. So when you do def sum of square, we defined a sum of square with two parameter a, b, and return square a, which means we use this function. Inside this function, it will return the square of a, which means a into a, and square b, which means b into b. And when you do print sum of square and pass the argument, it will execute it means calling the function, it will execute def sum of square AB, and which means the square of A is the 3, square of 3 is 9, plus square of 4 is 16, 9 plus 16 is 25, so answer is 25. Now we move to part number 5, scope, and we will talk about local scope. Scope means where a variable exists and can be accessed. This confuses many beginners, so understand it clearly. Variable created inside a function are local. The only exist inside that function. Once the function ends, they are gone. The outside world cannot see them. This is actually good. Function do not accidentally mess with other parts of program. In this, you can see a function, function x exists only inside this function. It does not exist outside the function. It only exists inside this function, and it only runs for this function. So when you do print x, it will print 10. And when you call the function, my function, it will return 10. But when you do print x outside the function, it won't come. The value won't come because it exists outside the function, and this value variable 10 only exists is inside the function. This is known as local scope. And when you do this call print x outside the function, it won't come because it's a local scope and won't run here. Let me show you why run here. As you can see, I call the my function. It comes 10, and there is an error because we try to print x and x is not defined outside the function because it is a local scope. So when we remove it, there won't be no error. As you can see, that's all, very easy. Hmm. Now, global versus local. This is a global variable, and two variable named name, one global, one local. Local is inside the function, as you can see. Outside global name is still Rahul, and global variable you can call anywhere because it is outside the function. So when you do print name, it will come Rahul, but when you do greet, it will come Priya. So basically, global variable is opposite of local variable because local variable is defined inside function, but global variable is defined outside function, and you can use global variable anytime. When you do print name, it will come Rahul because it is a global variable, and global variable is defined outside the function. So you can use it. As you can see, name is Rahul, and we have defined a function greet, and this is a local variable different from global, and when you do print name, it will come Priya, and when you call the function, it will come Priya, and when you print name, it will come Rahul. Let me show you by running it. Rahul, Priya, and Rahul, as you can see. Very easy definition and distinction. So please understand this carefully and practice the code side by side or after the video. I will send the code in the description. Now we are done with all the function concept. We talked about function parameters, arguments. We studied about the difference between define and call. We studied about parameter versus argument. We studied about default parameter. We studied about print versus return. And we saw the examples. And we also studied about recursive function. And we studied about scope, local scope and global scope. Saw the difference between global scope and local scope clearly. Now we move to the next part, math functions. Now, math function is very easy. It is basically math modules. So it is basically you import math, and if you want to do some calculation, the math module will do it. For example, if you wanted to find a square root of a number, You can use math.sqrt and a value argument here and find the square root of a number. For example, square root of 25 is 5, so it will come as 5. And if you wanted to find a power of a number, for like power like 2 to the power 8, if you wanted to find 2 to the power 8, you can use math.pow and find the power of 2 to the power 8, which is 256. And if you wanted to find the floor division of 3.9, it will round down to 3, and you can use math.floor. Just see the example and understand, it is very easy. And if you wanted to use math.seal, okay, seal means the roof, and floor means the floor. It just rounds up to the seal will round up to the highest perfect value, and floor will round to the lowest perfect value. So 3.1 highest perfect value is 4, so it will print 4 mat dot seal, and mat dot floor will print 3 because the it will round down to 3. And mat dot pi will basically print the pi value, so easy. And mat dot apps will you make the value positive. Sorry, you don't need to use import math for calculating ABS, because ABS is built in and there is no there's no need for import math for calculating ABS. So you can print ABS directly by -7. So when I run it, I will show you. As you can see, math dot square root of 25 is 5. Oh, and power of 2 to the 8 is 256 as defined in the comment. You can see in the comment the value is coming exactly, and mat dot floor of this value is 3, and mat dot seal of 3.1 is 4, and mat dot pi value is coming. But when you use mat dot abs, it will come error, so I will remove it and print it again. As you can see, mat dot abs -7 is 7. ABS basically flips the sign, minus to plus and plus to minus, so it's very easy. Now we will see practical use of math function. So in this code we import math. Radius is called, we put radius, define a variable called radius and put it equal to 7, and area will calculate mat dot pi is basically pi value into mat dot power of radius 7 to the power 2. It will print the area of it, and area of circle will round, will come the value. As you can see, you can literally see the example and understand yourself. It's very easy. To calculate the area, we have used the import math function, mat.pi into mat.pow, and it prints the area of circle by rounding it. So we round it to the two decimal. So it is the value has come 153.94. We will see by running the example, and we can calculate the hypotenuse by using sqrt square root, and inside the square root we have defined, like, this will run first because Python follows the order of board mass, bracket first, and in this mat dot power of 3 into 2 will calculate, plus power of 4 into 2 will calculate, plus, and square root of this is the value, and it will print the hypotenuse. It is very easy. As you can see, I will show you by running it. Area of circle is 153.94, hypotenuse is 5.0. You can see by yourself and understand it. It's very easy. Now, we have learned so far math functions and all the functions and basic function. Now we will putting it together. There is a example. We will calculate a grade calculator function. In this we import math, and we define the function calculate grade with the parameter marks. Average is sum of marks, because Sum is because we imported math. Sum marks divided by length of marks. If average is bigger than equal to 90, return A. Elif average, as you can see the conditions. So if average is bigger than equal to 90, return A. If elif average bigger than equal to 75, return B. Average is bigger than equal to 60, return C. Elif average is 70, return 40, else return 5. You can see it's a simple calculation, simple elif elif else block. So we define two lists, student 1, 85, 1902, and it will, and when we call this function with student 1, it will calculate the average marks in this and return the grade according to these conditions. So and same for the student 2, it will calculate the average marks out of it, and it will check the conditions and match it, and if condition is satisfied, it will return the grade. So when I run it, as you can see, we calculated student 1 grade is B. After calculating average and checking the condition, student 2 grade is D. So this is a very nice example. You should practice it and understand it carefully. So this is it all for the today video. I hope you all practice it thoroughly and understand it, and we will meet in the next video, and we will study about lists, dictionary and tuples. It will be very interesting and very important in Python. So till next we will meet. Bye bye.